While I was recording, my husband came in and brought me my favorite drink. I absolutely love these. If you like energy drinks, definitely try this out. It's Guru, fully organic. It also has L-theanine in it, which I absolutely love. It makes my body feel so good. Definitely try this. It's the Fruit Punch Guru. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Kari Vlogs. I'm Kari, and this is my world where we manifest dreams, bake magic, and grow the life we love. Today's video is going to be all about how my husband and I made our dream car come into fruition. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So my husband actually just reminded me of something because I told him I was doing a video of how I manifested our car, and he's like, well, what about me? I was like, yeah, okay, fine. I'll include you in this video too. So my husband and I both manifested the car together. He's not somebody who I feel like really believes in like the energies and like being able to actually like manifest things, but as time goes on and he sees me manifesting different things into our life, he is becoming way more like suspicious that it's something that actually works. And I keep telling him, I'm like, you literally see the proof in front of you. Like, you see that I'm doing this. I don't understand how you're still so skeptical. Sometimes that's how people are, and that's totally fine. Eventually I feel like he'll come around and he'll be able to see that this is a real thing. Like, this is the real deal. So for the past, I'll say 12 years, my husband and I have had our ups and we've had our downs. I'm not talking about like romantically, like with our relationship or anything like that. I'm talking financial. So we met like 14 years ago. We actually met working at my first waitressing job. He was a dishwasher, and then he ended up becoming a host just so he can see me more and we can hang out together more, because he was always in the back and he was like, this girl's really cute, I want to see her more. So he became a host so he can be up front with me all day, talk to me all day, flirt with me all day. It worked. He would bring in like gallon Ziploc baggies of my favorite candies all mixed together, just so that way I would go up there and talk to him. So when we met, we were just kids. We started dating shortly after we met, maybe 6 months after. We were friends for a while. Ever since we had our first son, financially, things have been crazy. So I was working different jobs, waitressing, and I was also going to school full time. I got my associate's degree, and then I went back and got my bachelor's degree, which I actually just graduated last year after taking a couple years off because my father did pass away, and then COVID happened, and then things were just crazy. So speaking of COVID, we were finally doing really well. He had a great steady job. I was working, doing really well with like my waitressing, and I would make like really good money doing that. Like, we were able to save up money and everything. And I had a car, he had a car, everything was great. He got into an accident. He was going to a job interview for, I think it was a train company or something. He hit a patch of like black ice and slid off the road into a guardrail. Thankfully, he was fine. His car was not. I never thought that we would be a one-car family. And here we are today, still a one-car family, but that's totally fine now for different reasons. We'll get into that. We were working on our credit at the time, and then he got into his car accident. Everything was still fine. Like, he was working, I was working, everything was fine. I had to drop down to only working on the weekends, and then my mom would let me use her car and I would be able to go to work. She would watch like one of our kids, and my now husband's mom would go and like she would watch some of the other kids. It was a great setup. My mother-in-law ended up getting married and moving all the way to Louisiana, which is about 14 hours from us. So we lost her as a babysitter, and then my mom ended up not being able to babysit my kids anymore because she had other obligations. I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm only working one weekend, like one day on the weekends. It's not going to be that much of a financial constraint. It's going to be fine. So I ended up becoming a stay-at-home mom. And my husband was working full-time as a contractor. He did his contracting job for about 8 years. I was a stay-at-home mom. He was working, making pretty decent money. Everything was fine. We had, our car. Everything was great with that. And then our car ended up dying. I don't remember exactly what was wrong with it. I think it needed a new transmission or something. We lived without a car for literally like a year. It was insane because we had to rely on people to take us to the store. Thank you, Corey. I know you're watching this. So somebody really close to us in our life actually gifted us a car, which was amazing because I was pregnant at the time and I needed something to get to and from doctor's appointments. And there was a point where I just got so like financially strapped and could not afford anything. I ended up filing bankruptcy. And in order to file bankruptcy, I needed a ride. So I had to have my mom take me to the bankruptcy place, to the lawyer's office. This is a crazy story because my bankruptcy court happened the day before the world shut down because of COVID. After that, the world shut down. And unfortunately, due to COVID, my husband was pretty much furloughed. But with the world being shut down, people were like, I don't want strangers in my house. I don't want somebody here like installing windows. Unfortunately, the unemployment was not anywhere near what he was actually making. So we had to run up our credit cards. After we ran up our credit took a hit. Like, not only did I file bankruptcy, but my husband had to rack up all his credit cards and max them out. Took a huge hit to his credit. My credit was literally nothing. But as long as after you file bankruptcy, you instantly can start building up your credit again whenever you're able to get approved for like any secured card you can get to start building yourself up again financially, as long as you have that mindset to where you're not going to end yourself up into muddy water or hot water, whatever they call it again, then I think it'll be fine. You want to take that bankruptcy and use that as starting over fresh. I unfortunately did not get to do that. After my husband's cards were all racked up, and after the fact that our car had broken down and we were gifted another car, we ended up being gifted another car because the person whose car this was not allowed to drive anymore and they were gonna take the car away. So we're like, we're just gonna buy it from you. And thankfully we did, because that same day our other car stopped working. Yay! We were once again a one-car family. This was like a beautiful car. It was old, but it was like so luxurious. It was like a Hyundai Azura. I think it was like a 2008. So it was old, but it was very well taken care of. The owner who had it before our family member was an older woman, and she would like barely drive it. It had like really good mileage on it, and it had like this really beautiful like wood interior kind of design. It had heated seats. Oh, it was so nice. I loved that car. But unfortunately, not even 9 months into having that car, my husband got into a pretty bad accident, but we didn't know it was a blessing in disguise. So the car was completely totaled. The whole like front end was smashed in, the wheel was bent in, it was leaking all its fluids. They ended up totaling out the car. I am going to have a video in the future with my husband's accident story. It's a really, really long, like crazy story, by the way. So make sure you watch out for that video. After the car accident, our other car, as I said before, was broken. It was still sitting in our driveway, broken down. He ended up quitting his job in 2022 when I started my job. After his car accident, he ended up fixing our other car in our driveway. After my husband fixed the car, we had, our decent car. And then I was like, you know what? I really want to try and manifest like a brand new car into our life. I want my dream car. After my husband fixed up our car, we had it for quite a while. It was running like pretty good. I took my son to his first orthodontist appointment just to get a consultation to see like when he needs his braces. Then we stopped at the dollar store on the way home, and then we went home, and then my husband was like, hey, leave the car on, I'm gonna go to the store. So I'm like, okay, great. So he gets in the car and he goes to Whole Foods, and as soon as he turned into the Whole Foods parking lot, the bar holding the two back tires onto the car snapped and the wheels were turned in. But this car, it got us through so much. Like, I am so thankful for that little car. And my husband was like, well, maybe we can get it fixed. I'm like, no, we're not getting it fixed. We're getting a new car. So instantly, as soon as that happened, I started looking for my car. Financially, we were okay. Like, we were getting ourselves out of hot water. So I instantly went online and I was like, okay, let me see what places are the best for people with limited credit like ours, or a bad credit history like ours. Everything that I looked at ended up leading us to CarMax. And I know what people say about CarMax. My story is honestly insane with CarMax, and I went through so much with them, so much heartbreak, so much, like, I will tell that story in a future video about how exactly we got our car and my CarMax story. So make sure you look out for that as well. We ended up finding the exact car we wanted in the exact color that I wanted. It has the exact same like wheel color that I wanted, which is like not the silver ones, they're like the dark gray ones, and my car is dark gray. I absolutely love my car so much and I'm so happy with it. I know what people say about Teslas, but honestly I have found none of it to be true. It's been through like extreme heat and extreme cold and it's done really well. It drives perfectly through the snow. I absolutely love the different features on it. It's amazing. If you want to purchase your own Tesla, I will put our referral in the description below. They're doing like tons of different tax incentives, so you definitely should look into it if you do plan on getting a Tesla. So we ended up getting the Tesla and absolutely love it. It was my dream car. Like I said, I've been trying to manifest it since I started my vision board in June of 2024. But even before that, even before I started like actually doing like vision boards and like actual like manifesting, I was still thinking about how I really wanted this car, how this car was going to be mine, how like it was made for me. I consider that like being in the manifesting mindset and like knowing that that car was going to be mine and that I was going to have it eventually. I'm so happy that we were able to bring it into fruition. I hope you enjoyed my video. I know it was kind of just rambling on a little bit. So make sure you subscribe and hit that like button below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.